have been traditionally paid by the federal government. Now, the money for SNAP comes from DC. The administration of the SNAP benefits is handled by each state, in this case, the Commonwealth of Virginia. They handle the applications, the eligibility, and the benefit calculations. Okay? Government money given to the state. The state then distributes that money, and they're in charge of who can apply, how they apply, who's eligible, and how much benefit you're each going to get once you become eligible. But Virginia's payment error rate, the PER, I mean, this is how you know this is just the 100% government inefficiency, that you actually have an acronym for payment error rates that they call it a PER. Because I don't want to say it out loud. Oh, what's wrong? Our PER is out of line. Or, what's wrong? Our payment error rate is off the chart. See how I can make it just more benign by saying, oh, well, our PER is unaligned. The PER, the payment error rate in Virginia, is now above 10%. Now, I want to make sure everybody understands this. That doesn't mean we have 10% of the receipts committing fraud, the recipients committing fraud. It means that too many payments are being calculated incorrectly, some too high, some too low. So basically, what DC has said, listen, we're going to give you the money, but if you're going to mismanage this program, then you're on the hook for it. Because in years past, federal government gives to the state gives it out. They have no skin in the game. There's no accountability. If they pay too much, pay too little, people get on the rolls that don't belong. They don't care because the money's coming from the federal government. Well, now the federal government says, listen, be better stewards of the tax money. And if your PER, payment error rate, is too high, then maybe you should start paying these things because you're not being careful. You're not being good stewards. You're not taking care of federal taxpayers' money. So under the new federal law that all the Democrats hate, states with high error rates will have to start sharing the cost of SNAP benefits. So if Virginia can't get that error rate down, the Commonwealth could pick up 15% of the tab of SNAP, potentially hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a basic issue. Washington is saying that if the state is going to administer the program and the error rate is too high, then Virginia, you're going to have to help pay for it. Either you take care of business and make sure that we're taking good care of the federal taxpayers' money, and if you don't care to do that, great, then you can help pay the SNAP benefits. Seems pretty easy to me. But we have people right now that are screaming and yelling and going crazy. How dare you? You're threatening the SNAP benefits of people. No. What the big, beautiful bill is done, and how many times have you seen this on social media? You see this on CNN and MS Now and a bunch of other people that are actually misleading you. One of the things in the big, beautiful bill, it's not threatening SNAP recipients and saying, hey, you know what? In this case, you have to administer this, and you have to be very careful, and you have to be good stewards of the people's money. And if you can't be bothered to do that, then you pay. Stop wasting people's money. Stop your poor stewardship of federal tax dollars. Seems pretty easy to me, and it should be something universal. But that's where we get government so big, so bloated. When it gets that big and bloated and nobody pays attention and we're just handing out money and there's no accountability for it, I'm glad this is going to go on. Let's have the Commonwealth of Virginia be more accountable and make sure that we're getting the right money to the right people at the right amount. And again, no one is being accused of fraud. No one is being accused of fraud. None of the people that are affected by this in the SNAP program are being accused of fraud. That's something completely different. This is the state just mismanaging the federal tax dollars that are sent to SNAP. Some are overpaid, some are underpaid. Some people, their income has changed and they don't report it back and they're being overpaid. I'm not calling anybody a fraud, but I'm saying that if you can't handle that money, you're not taking care of it, then maybe you should be held accountable. And the way they're holding them accountable, and the best way they can, fine. You don't want to take care of the federal government's money, then you can help contribute. Seems pretty reasonable to me. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140, the number for you to join us. I don't mind paying my taxes. I really don't. Could you imagine what your life would be like if you didn't have the federal and the state income tax taken out? You'd have a lot more money. I don't mind paying that. Now, I'm going to remind everybody, we work about 3.5 months just to pay our federal taxes and our state taxes. 27%, you're working about a third of the year to give that money to the federal government. I don't mind. We use it for the national defense. We help people out that could use a little help when it comes to social welfare programs. I don't mind that. But what I do mind is when you take my hard-earned dollars and you take it out of my paycheck every month and you don't take the same care that I do. That's what infuriates me. That's why people get mad at what's going on in D.C. That's why people get mad at the swamp, and that's why people get frustrated when you take our tax dollars, whether it's in the city of Richmond at City Hall, when it comes to these government grants, or it's in the SNAP benefit program. If you can't be accountable and you're not accounting for every penny and treating it like it's your own, that's when I get upset about having to pay my taxes. Do a better job. I work hard for that money. How about you work just as hard to make sure that money's going to the right place and not being wasted? You want to comment? 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. Coming up, we'll run through the top 5 of the Richmond's Morning News Brief, and we open up the phones for you. Coming up at 9:33. I'm going to go both ways. I might talk about this Mount Rushmore idea, although somebody's mad at me. I don't care, blah, 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 blah. Dude, chill. And I am still looking for Navy veterans to talk about what's going on with the USS Lincoln. We might do both of those at 9:33. We'll continue. It's News Radio WRVA. Hey, by the way, today's program is brought to you by Pearson Signature Dealerships and that Pearson Promise. Only at Pearson Signature Dealerships do you walk in knowing you got something in your pocket that you can't find anywhere else.